This video is brought to you by Home Trust, Singapore's leading interior design platform. If you are interested in finding an ID, you can consider going through Home Trust by putting in the details such as your home type, as well as your budget and the theme that you prefer. They will scan through more than 2,000 IDs and find a suitable one for you. You can refer to the reviews as well as other scoring such as the design, workmanship to determine which are the IDs that you prefer working with. Once decided, you can click on Enquire. Another thing I like about it is that it has the accreditation to show you which are the certificates that they have.
Hi everyone, welcome back to our video. Today we'll be guiding everyone through how to set up a smart home, especially for beginners. Without further ado, let's head on into our first section, which is to how to set up an internet connection in your home. And that's the most important part. Let's go! So for our home, we actually purchased this internet bundle from MyRepublic, which comes with a Google Nest Wi-Fi router, as well as a Google Nest Wi-Fi point, which we place in our master bedroom. So for the Google Nest Wi-Fi router, we actually cannot interact with it, but however, for the Google Nest Wi-Fi point, we can, and that is what we need as well.
The first type of smart home device that we're going to go through is the smart switches. So we actually purchased these smart rule switches from Shopee, and to control them, we use the Tuya applications called the Smart Life. There's also another Tuya application that is called Smart Tuya. They are actually the same thing. But for this video, I'm actually using Smart Life. And then to set up the connection, what we have to do is just to press on this switch and hold it there. Then the thing itself will start flashing. Same applies to other smart home devices as well. Whenever you do the connection, the standard thing is really just to press on it and hold it there for a long period of time, and then the lights itself will start blinking. It means it's starting to do the setup connection. For those high energy consumption electrical appliances, such as the cooking hob as well as the water heater, you actually requires this kind of water heater switch, not the normal kind. This kind usually comes along with neutral wiring.
Now I'm going to show you guys how to add the smart switches into the Smart Life app. So what you have to do is to click on the Add Device at the top, scroll all the way down to find this Switch Wi-Fi, click into it, and then connect to 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi. Afterwards, after you long press the switch, it should be blinking rapidly already. So you just go ahead and click on the blink quickly. And then on this screen, your smart switch should appear here, and then you'll be able to connect it.
That's how this thing works. When you're outside, you forget to switch off the lights. You can just take out your app, Smart Life app, and then just press on the button. Straight away, what happens is that the instruction will be sent to, using your data, send it to the receiver, and it will send to the server. Then the server will actually send it to your router, and then send to the smart switches to switch it off. Some electrician might not be familiar with smart switches. When you buy this smart rule smart switch, the instruction manual will be given to you. All these you might have to guide the electrician if he or she is not familiar with.
In total, we have 3 motion sensors. So the one over here is an entrance detector. The second one is the motion sensor in the guest toilet. The last one we have over here is the motion sensor in our master toilet.
Previously, we talked about the smart switches. The smart switch communicate with the router through Wi-Fi, but the issue about using Wi-Fi is that it's energy consuming. However, the smart switch can afford to do so because it's connected to the electrical wiring. But for other devices such as the motion sensor, it doesn't have electrical and supply to it. It relies on the battery. Therefore, it has to use other form of wave such as the Z wave, ZB, maybe infrared radio frequency. All these other waves consumes less energy, but the issue about them is that it doesn't talk to the router directly using Wi-Fi. Therefore, there's a need for another device called the device handler. This white color thing over here is a ZB device handler. For device handler, the short form is DH, and you will see this quite often in the forum like Hardware Zone. So what happens is that the motion sensor is transmitting the ZB wave to our DH device handler over here. And then the device handler will convert the info into Wi-Fi and talk to the router using the Wi-Fi signal. Yeah. So now let's move on to going through how to set up the motion sensor. Before we add the motion sensor to the Smart Life, we must first add the device handler. So you press add device, you go all the way to the gateway, which is over here, gateway control. Press it. Our gateway is the ZigBee because the motion sensor that we purchase is ZigBee wave kind. So you press on gateway bracket ZigBee. Same thing for your ZigBee device handler. Press onto the button and hold it there. Then you will see the lights blinking. Once it's blinking, you just start connecting to it. Okay. Once it's done, now you can start adding the motion sensor. Because motion sensor can only talk using ZigBee wave, and the router doesn't use ZigBee to communicate. So you need to set out the DH first, device handler. Once done, now we add the motion sensor, which is over here, sensors. Then we will go all the way down to ZigBee motion sensor. Press it. Then ZigBee Smart Gateway is the one that we connected just now, the device handler. Press it. Same thing for our motion sensor. Press onto the button and hold it there. Wait for the lights to blink. Then you will start connecting. That's all.
With the smart switches, we can now control our lights by switching them on and off via our Google Home. However, there might be other appliances or devices such as the TV, our ceiling fan, and the air conditioner that cannot be controlled via the smart switches because they operate via radio frequency or infrared. So this is where we need another device handler to come in to control them. So this is the device handler that I was talking about. As you can see, we have it connected to our socket over here. So you can actually find this on Shopee, but there are actually a wide range of price. So the cheapest one is actually only for infrared, which can be used to control devices such as your air conditioner or the television. However, if you have other appliances like us, such as the outdoor zip lines, as well as our ceiling fan, they require radio frequency to be operated on. So we need to purchase the device handler that actually has both infrared and radio frequency, which is usually the ones on the higher price range. So now I'm going to teach you how to connect these devices to this device handler.
We will now add the DH, which is the universal control. So same thing, add device. Go all the way down to others and press on universal remote control. And then the steps will be the same as the smart switch. It's quite intuitive. So once added, the DH will appear over here, which is this black color box icon. So you press on it, and we will now start connecting all our remote control into this universal remote control. So let's say I want to add my aircon. I just press on infrared, add. Okay, press on the type of device, which is aircon, and then the rest of the steps will be quite intuitive. In the event if you purchase a device that is not really well known, you can actually get this DH to learn the buttons on the remote control. So how we do it is press on maybe radio frequency. I want to add my zip blind remote control. So this is the remote control I want to add into it. So I just click on add, go to DIY, and what is the type of device? Mine is a zip blind, so it's a roller shutter. So it will tell you hold on to the button, okay, and then they will ask you what is the frequency. Usually the frequency information will be stated at the back of the remote control, but if you don't have, it's okay. You just press on unable to confirm what is the remote control band, and then they will ask you to press a button near the DH. Once the universal remote control is able to detect it, it will show on this screen for you. Then you just press on next, okay? Then they will ask you press this button. This is exactly the button that you have pressed just now. So if the device reacts, it means that this control button has been learned correctly.
Another feature that you can add onto your smart home is the use of smart curtains. And as introduced in our very first video, we actually bought these motorized curtain tracks from Taobao itself. So for this smart curtain, you can actually control it via the remote, or we have already set up a routine to talk to Google to ask it to open or close. So I'm just going to demo with the remote, or because you can actually pause it at a certain period as well, depending on how you want it to be. So I'm just gonna close the day curtains now. So if let's say I want to let it stop now, I just press the pause button and you can stop it like this. Now I'll be moving on to the last smart device that I would like to introduce to everyone. So this is our smart plug over here. We use this smart plug for our Dyson vacuum charger because we actually clean our house every Saturday. So we want it to charge at a certain timing after we finish cleaning the house automatically. So for example, we set it to charge starting from 3 p.m. and then it will switch off itself automatically after 2 hours at 5 p.m. But we actually use this for our air purifier in our master bedroom as well because it switches on itself every night and switch off in the morning. So it depends on your own routine, but you can use it for a variety of other appliances. Now I'm going to share some of the smart home routines that we have set up for our home. So one of the common terminology that people use for the smart home is IFTTT, which stands for if this then that. So one example is for our door sensor over here. So if this door sensor is open, when we open the door, then what will happen afterwards is that the lights in the kitchen as well as the service yard will be open so that we can wash our hands, put out our stuff, etc. So this is one of the example which I'm going to show now. So open.
Now we will show you how to set the routine. First, click on Scene. Do take note that there's two segments. Automation means that the routine itself will be running behind the scene 24/7. Yeah. Whereas tap to run, we will show a demo on it later on. Tap to run is more for when you are giving instruction to Google. So for the demo, for the routine that is shown just now, is under automation. So what we do is first we add plus. Okay, then the triggering is happening when the entrance sensor door itself is open. So we will choose this when device starts changes. Status changes, yeah. So over here, what happened was the entrance door, click on it, door sensor, when it's open, okay, so this will be the triggering. So when the door open, what will happen? You will switch on the lights, correct? So then we will go to the lights, which is under run the device. So we will look for the kitchen switch, which is here, kitchen switch. So I want to switch on both lights, service yard as well as kitchen main. So you just click on, save it. Kitchen main also, on it, save it. Countdown timer refers to you want the lights to on for how long. So let's say you want the lights to on for maybe 1200 seconds. Yeah, you just put save. So after 1200 seconds, it will switch off on its own. Yeah. So for our routine, what we said was we wanted the lights to on for 3 minutes. So for the second, it will be 180 seconds instead. So countdown 1 will refer to service yard. Countdown 2 will refer to the light of kitchen main. That's all. Then click next and save this routine. Okay. I'm not saving it. So anyway, once it's saved, it will appear over here. It will be running 24/7. And that's it.
Another routine that we have set up is for our master bedroom, and you can actually see this in our first video, whereby we told Google like it's time to sleep, and this will actually switch on our aircon, switch off the fan, close our night curtains, and then the aircon will actually automatically switch off after an hour and the fan will come back on. So you can actually set up many of these different home routines. These are just examples so far that we have shared. So feel free to play around with it as to your own living habits.
For the routine demonstrated just now, it was activated by us calling Google to do so. So for this kind of routine, it's created under tap to run. So you press on the plus button, click on Launch tab to run. Okay, then the naming must be very specific. Maybe I call it
Time, 2,
okay. Then when this command is given to Google, what will happen is I want the aircon to be switched on. Okay, so maybe I go to master bedroom aircon. I will switch it on. Okay, switch on. And I want it to be very cold, 19 degree. Then I want the speed to be high. Yeah, so that's it. And next, besides aircon, maybe I want to close the curtain. So I will run the device again. Okay, then maybe master bedroom night curtain. I want it to close. So I will press on close. And that's it. To make sure that there's lower chance of having error, we usually will put some delay in between. So you just press and drag it here. So what happened is when I give the command to Google, I say Google activate time to sleep. What happens is that Google will help you to go to the master aircon, switch it on for you, wait for 2 seconds, and later on it will also close the master curtain for you. So with that, that's it, save, and this routine will appear over here under tap to run.
Another smart home routine that we have added is to have the lights in the guest toilet automatically switch on when someone enters.
For this kind, it will be under automation because you want it to be at the background 24/7. So for automation, same thing, press the plus button. But I will show you the one that I have done. Okay, it's over here, guest toilet. So the triggering part is motion sensor. The motion sensor must detect motion, which is human activity. Once it detected it, Once it detects it, what happens is the lights, two of my lights in the toilet will switch on. That's all. Simple. Then next, you switch it on, you also must switch it off automatically. So you need to create another routine again. Okay. So for the routine, what is the triggering? Okay. The triggering is that the moment the sensor detects no one for at least 1 minute, what happens is this will be triggered already, then the lights will be switched off. Let us go back to here again. So what's the difference between no one and no one duration? No one means that the moment the status change to no one, straight away the lights will be switched off already. But no one duration means that I want the no one, once it switch, I want the no one status to last at least 1 minute before I switch it off. So that's the difference. Yeah. So with that, the most common kind of routine is set up already. So in summary, what happens is the moment you enter into the toilet, the detector will be able to detect motion, and then it will switch on the two lights for you. Then once you leave the toilet, there's no more motion detector already. It will last for, so the no one status will last for 1 minute. After 1 minute, it will switch off the two lights for you, and that's it. Once you have connected all the smart devices with your smart life, as well as added the necessary routines, it's time to connect smart life to the Google Home. So what you do is open your Google Home, click on the plus sign, set up device, works with Google, and find smart life. Once you add it, okay, all the devices from smart life will be populated into Google Home, and you can see your devices over here or at the bottom. Yeah. So in order to interact with Google Home, you might consider purchasing Google Home Mini, so that you can instruct Google to do certain stuff, activate the routines for you. So remember, the sentence to say to it is Google activate whatever routine that you have named in Smart Life. Yeah, so that will do. You can also explore two other gadgets that I think is quite interesting as well. The first one is the LED lights, whereby you can control the lightings. Yeah, you can find it in Shopee as well. The next one will be the smart device for watering your plant, irrigation purpose.
Thanks again for watching our video today. We hope that it's helpful for new homeowners to set up your own smart home. If you like our content, please remember to like our video, share with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. And we'll see you next time.